Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Janet Jones. I'm the course director for the BA Honours Psychosocial Studies, and I'd just like to welcome you to this event and to give you a little bit of information about the course in general. The Psychosocial programme is in partnership with the Anglia University, so you will be a Cambridge student and a College of the West Anglia student, and you will have your degree in 3 years' time, and it will have Anglia Ruskin University attributed to it. So what are the entry requirements? Well, I've put them up on the PowerPoint, but I think what is important to remember is the bit at the bottom. What if I don't meet the entry requirements? Because several of our students, they may have lots of qualifications in different things, or they might not have any formal qualifications, but they've got a lot of life experience, and we take that into consideration. So please don't be put off from applying for the course. It's always worth discussing it with me, and having a chat about it. What you need to enjoy and study on this course, first and foremost, you need an open mind. Now, we cover a lot of highly controversial and debatable topics within the course, and you need to be able to think of these without being incredibly shocked or wonder what on earth we're doing talking about such things. So you do need an open mind. Having said that, several of the things that involve things like sex and serial killers and things, that's not until the 3rd year. So you do have the ability to choose which ones you want to cover and which ones you don't want to cover. So don't feel you're going to be pushed into studying things that are gruesome or of a sexual nature that you think, oh no, that's not for me, I don't really want to do that, because you won't have to. You can choose to opt out of some of the modules in the 3rd year. You'll need to think critically. Now, my actual doctorate was all about critical thinking, and this, we find, is why the course is so successful, because you question things, you debate things that sometimes you might just have taken for granted. You might have thought, well, everybody knows that, or maybe everybody doesn't know that, or maybe you think differently to other people, or what you think other people are thinking, when in reality they might be thinking the same as you all the way along. So it's all about questioning things, finding out for yourself new knowledge, and not believe everything you see on the television, or if it's printed up in a book, it doesn't necessarily mean to say that that is true. You need a good sense of humour. We try on the course to apply the theories very much to everyday human behaviour. So this means that we could use something out of a comedy show, such as The Simpsons, because they tend to parody things that happen in real life, but they don't have the same meaning in a book or in a lecture theatre until you start thinking about them for yourselves. So you do need to have a sense of humour and fun, and you need to be able to say to us, I don't understand that, so please can you explain some more? And as you grow more confident, you will feel able to do that. And you might find it's easier to talk in a little group, rather than put your hand up in a huge lecture theatre and ask for help, because your confidence will grow as you go along. You'll meet friends, and some you'll be closer to than others. But we're aiming to get you to be able to talk and trust us to be able to answer your questions, you know, in a responsible way. What you won't need to enjoy and study on this course. Now, we take people from a variety of backgrounds. Some might have A levels, some might have access, some might just have work experience. So you don't need a huge amount of background knowledge about everything we cover on the course. What is handy is if you don't feel you know anything at all about psychology, sociology, or criminology, if you really are starting from the beginning, that's what we'll be doing according to need, you know. And it might be a good idea to get yourself a very simple book, the simplest you can find, because it's no use going and buying very complicated books for an advanced level if you don't understand the basics. So we will help you all the way along. And if you feel embarrassed to say, I haven't a clue, well, we'll have tutorials. We have tutorials on a regular basis. We can talk to you on a one-to-one and help you. But in your first year, most definitely, you don't need to feel you have a huge background knowledge in any of the subjects. Obviously, it helps if you have, but if not, then that's not a problem. I did add the little bit about the posh clothes because we are a very informal group. We find that it's as we've said before, a good sense of humour. We care very much about our students, and we are very much a tight-knit group that looks after each other. So that was just a little bit of humour at the bottom. Because the degree covers so many different areas, there is a huge amount of careers options open to you. A lot of the people who work at the University Centre King's Lynn and across the college as a whole have already done this course. We've got a lot of people gone on to do teaching. I've got lots of people in different schools who are teaching, you know, local schools, and some of them are now head of faculty and things like that, have gone on to, you know, do extremely well in their teaching. So that is an area. Others work in the criminal justice system, such as the prisons or the probation or the police. If you wish to go along to the prisons as a field trip, which is entirely voluntary, but if you wish to go, we will take you. You might see for yourself what it's actually like to work in a prison. And that could be within a criminal psychological role, that sort of thing, you know, and we get to talk to the psychologists there. Counselling and psychoanalysis is another area that people do very well in. And sometimes they start their own business, and sometimes they work for doctors and things like that. Social work, we've had quite a lot of people go into social work, and they tend to, you know, skip the introductory layers and go into the, you know, quite prominent positions. National Health Service, this is where the counselling is, it can be very helpful in terms of, you know, helping people in, you know, in hospital and things, or just worried and upset. The counselling can be very useful in that respect. The clinical education, criminal psychology are also areas that you might wish to think about doing. The mental health work, we've actually got a team in the local area who consist entirely of people from this course. You know, they've already successfully completed it. You know, the leader herself is one of our ex-graduates and teachers. So that's where it comes into in terms of the things you'll learn on the course about addictive behaviour and psychological behaviours, where that can help you in terms of practical work. The postgraduate studies, well, we've got an awful lot go on to Anglia and they do different degrees. And there is a scheme whereby, you can go in and there's a reduction in fees because you've already become an Anglia graduate. So that's another area. One of the people working on the team at the moment for this course started off doing the course, went on and did a master's and a doctorate at Anglia Ruskin. So there's no limit to what you can do. Eventually, we want to get a postgraduate master's degree running here at the University Centre, King's Lynn. But of course, that is subject to Anglia Ruskin verification, and this is to be confirmed. But it is our hope and desire, we are working on it at the moment, that a master's degree will be a direct follow-on from this course, if you wish to continue with your studies.